Okay, folks, I have some news. You don't need to put your face on a billboard to get law firm clients. But you can if you want to, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. However, there are many more affordable and effective and inconspicuous ways to advertise your law firm to generate more clients, more leads, and more traffic. And if you've been doing online marketing for a while, you might have heard of something called Google Ads and my favorite subject, SEO. In essence, both Google Ads and SEO involve playing Google games, but they are also very different. One involves running paid ads, and the other requires a more organic approach. Both can be very effective, but involve different strategies and cost. Trying to decide whether you should run Google Ads, optimize for SEO, or both? I'm going to cover the ins and outs of these different strategies today. Dig into the cost benefits for Google Ads versus SEO for law firms and decide on the right approach for your law firm. The tortoise versus the hare. I like to compare Google Ads and SEO to the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare, in this case, being Google Ads, the tortoise being SEO. Like the hare, Google Ads is fast. It's ambitious, it gets a lot of flash and attention. Google Ads are what shows up as sponsored at the top of the search results, but you gotta pay to rank there. The tortoise, on the other hand, is slow and steady. It takes time. It's effective, but at times a little monotonous. But guess what? We love it. SEO helps your website rank over time across multiple keywords for various pages on your website. These rankings can be long-lasting and put you above many of your competitors. Both strategies reach the finish line, but in their own way. Google Ads is great for law firms that want fast leads, but have the resources to pay more for these leads. SEO, on the other hand, is great for law firms looking for ongoing organic leads. Arguably, every law firm should aim for this. A combination of the two can definitely work for certain law firms. Other law firms might benefit more from one or the other. One is not inherently better than the other. The effectiveness depends on your goals, your target market, and of course, your overall budget. To decide what's best for you, let's get into some important factors to keep in mind. Google Ads works well for faster results and quicker lead generation, but they can get a little pricey at times. Quick results, higher cost. SEO, on the other hand, generates leads and traffic as well, but it sometimes takes a bit longer to actually get the results. The major benefit of SEO is that it's more cost-effective than Google Ads and can drive traffic for the long term. Google Ads costs for law firms can be very high. The industry average is $50 to $150 per click, with some keywords even exceeding $500 per click. With that, your return on investment really depends on your ad conversion rate and the overall client value. Google Ads can cost this much because you are paying for immediate visibility. And if you're targeting the same keywords as top competitors, this can drive up the cost. But if you want to win the bid, so to speak, you can see returns in terms of immediate clicks and leads. At my marketing agency, Hennessey Digital, our typical law firm can spend thousands of dollars on Google Ads every month, just depending on the size of the city and how competitive it is. But you gotta pay to play the game. SEO, on the other hand, is a long-term investment. You pay for content, local SEO, backlinks, and other website improvements to benefit your SEO strategy. But these pay off well into the future in terms of driving ongoing traffic and targeted leads. The typical SEO investment for a law firm averages between $8,000 and $15,000 per month, depending on how competitive that market is. When all is said and done though, the cost per lead on SEO tends to be a lot cheaper. In terms of ROI, law firms investing in SEO see an average ROI of 275% versus an average ROI of 200% on Google Ads. So while Google Ads costs more per click and per lead than SEO, one thing to note is that it drives immediate results. SEO, while more affordable, takes longer and sometimes months to actually see the ROI. When deciding whether Google Ads versus SEO is best for your law firm, consider your budget and whether your goal is to generate immediate results or long-term results. So what that means is that the efforts that you take into the marketing strategy in terms of SEO can generate results now, but also in future years to come if you implement the right strategy. You see, SEO is one of those marketing methods that's known for driving long-term results, evergreen results. Here's how that works. Basically, you optimize your website to target the specific keywords that your prospective clients are searching for. You implement on-page improvements like metadata updates and high-quality content to get Google to notice your website and rank it high on the search results. Once you rank high in the search results, bearing an algorithm update or competitors bumping you up and down, your website will start to generate organic traffic. As long as you're ranking high in the SERPs, you can expect ongoing, recurring traffic via SEO. Google Ads works differently though. Basically, you bid on a keyword, often the same keywords that you were targeting with your SEO, with your Google Ads. As long as your ads live and perform well, you'll get clicks and traffic. Your ads will run for as long as you're paying Google. If you max out your budget or pull the plug on your ads, guess what? The clicks and the traffic stops. SEO is evergreen. Google Ads is not. Why does this matter? It matters because while SEO may require an upfront work to get it right, once you stop, you can still receive organic traffic and leads from the effort that you put into it. Your lead generation then is not just dependent on your ability to pay for marketing or ads, although I highly recommend maintaining your SEO efforts just in case. Google Ads, on the other hand, can turn into a big feast or famine cycle. You need the budget to pay for the ads, you need the ads to get the leads and the revenue. If the revenue dries up, you might not be able to afford the ads, not to mention the potential for competitors to outbid and outperform your ads. That's not to say that Google Ads is a waste of time. Far from it. They work very well for law firms that can afford to run them and aren't dependent on them for leads. That is why you see so many law firms doing both SEO and Google Ads with long-term stability plus short-term wins. This 1-2 punch of a strategy can be very effective if you can afford to do both. So it might not be a matter of choosing one versus the other, but making both strategies work just for you. The way in which Google Ads is set up allows for you to get super targeted on the types of clients that you're trying to reach. You can set your targeting based on location, you could bid or exclude certain keywords, you can fine-tune your ad copy to speak to the needs of your ideal client. There are so many levers you can pull within your Google Ads account to do this, which is why so many lawyers do Google Ads over SEO. Your ads can also be adjusted to suit your specific goals, budget, and targeting. Google Ads are also great at attracting what we call high-intent users. This means users are actively searching for a lawyer online to hire and are very close to making a decision with who they want to work with. You might get some unqualified clicks from time to time, but for the most part, these are ready-to-buy types of clients. SEO doesn't quite allow for this type of laser targeting. You'll get website visitors through a wide range of queries, many of which you can't control. For example, if you're a family lawyer, somebody searching for an estate lawyer near me could still hypothetically stumble across your website if the strategy was set up incorrectly. Leads from SEO then tend to be more trust-driven. They may be searching for legal services or information, but still might be comparing their options, learning about the law, and searching for resources. By reading the content on your website, they may decide to work with you. Other times, users may be in the early stages of just looking for information. This means that conversion rates can vary across the board depending on where the user is and where they are in their journey. That said, users tend to trust organic information slightly more than ads. Perhaps they know that they aren't inherently bidding on the search interest. So with SEO in general, we tend to see more trusted results. So again, deciding between Google Ads and SEO ultimately depends on your objective and your budget. I highly recommend doing both. SEO to capture broader interest and retain an audience, and Google Ads to drive immediate results. You see, there's a reality in all of this that needs to be addressed. Law firms in super competitive niches will likely need to run Google Ads. There are a few ways to get around this. The big firms will know SEO is important, but will try to dominate the market with their ads. And they will have the resources to keep those ads up and running. So if you're in a highly competitive niche or a competitive market, you should expect to run Google Ads. A good indication that you will need to run Google Ads is if you do a search for one of your target keywords and you see the results overrun with ads. This shows that your competitors are paying to rank there. Now, Google Ads are more competitive for law firms due to the high cost per click. The more expensive the keyword is, the more that you will need to pay for the ads. Larger firms with bigger budgets may outbid the smaller firms. But if you're in a position to do this, it can be a huge competitive advantage. Fortunately, many firms aren't in this situation. They can do just fine with SEO because their competitors aren't even running ads. Though SEO itself can be competitive, you can focus on local or niche specializations to rank effectively. Specifically, law firms can do very well by targeting geo-specific keywords or niche-specific keywords in their SEO strategy, like personal injury lawyer Santa Clarita or Miami family law attorney. This reduces the competition level without increasing your SEO investment. So if you have a big firm, you might need to go big with ads, and if you have a small firm, you might want to go small with local SEO. Each approach has its benefits depending on the size and the objective of the firm. Just don't be shocked if the big players in your space are running ads, because you might need to as well. Here's the big elephant in the room. Doing SEO is not always easy. There's definitely a learning curve to implementing a good SEO strategy on your own, and not every law firm has the resources to do this. It requires some technical know-how, lots of content writing, and the ability to find the right keywords and the right resources to make website improvements. But it is possible. Many law firms have overcome the learning curve to understand SEO, implement it, and see the results. In fact, that's why this channel even exists. I try to make SEO easier for law firms looking to implement a good SEO strategy. And for those who don't want to take the do-it-yourself approach, plenty of agencies and resources can help you. Sure, you need to pay for the service, but remember, the ROI is often greater than Google Ads, though sometimes it could take a little while for you to actually see the results. That's why I highly recommend looking for a reputable agency that can help you get the results that you're looking for. Like, hey, Hennessey Digital is here if you need us. We'd love to work with you, of course. But if SEO is too intimidating or you don't have the budget to get started, Google Ads can definitely be more digestible. Google has a ton of resources on how you can set up your ads, optimize your campaigns, measure results, and so forth. And once your campaigns are set up, outside of the random optimizations, they can keep running for quite some time. There's slightly fewer barriers to entry on Google Ads. The caveat here, though, is that if you don't know what you're doing, Google Ads can be a complete waste of money. Don't go crazy with a ton of campaigns or blowing your ad budget before you have a plan dialed in. You might want to start off slow and then just kind of pick it up from there. In either case, a trusted marketing agency can help you implement SEO and run effective ads. You'll be more confident that your budget is going to a good place. If you feel ambitious, you can certainly do both yourself at the risk of making some mistakes at the beginning, which can ultimately cost you some money. You see, at my agency, Hennessey Digital, we dial in both approaches for our clients. That means a lot of upfront work in terms of determining the right keyword strategy, website improvements, ad copy, and so on. You see, we've been doing this for over 2 decades, and so we don't like to waste our clients' budget. And that's one of the huge benefits of working with an agency like ours. SEO may bring barriers to entry, but the results are long-running. Google Ads can seem easier to set up, but you can also make a lot of mistakes early on. You might want to start at your comfort level and work up from there. Consider your budget, your risk tolerance, and your technical know-how. But if you can afford it, work with an agency that knows its stuff. So if you thought by watching this video I was going to tell you outright and confidently what was going to work best for your firm, surprise, I don't really know you yet. However, what I can really say is do a strategy that best suits your goals. But I can give you information for you to decide for yourself. So here it is. If you're a small firm in a competitive market with the resources to run Google Ads, and you see that your competitors are also running Google Ads, you should probably run a campaign. But just remember, you're in a pay-to-play market and you'll need an ad strategy to outperform your competitors. When it comes to running Google Ads, you can do the Google Ads yourself, but working with an agency is usually recommended. This helps ensure that you don't waste your ad budget. Google Ads are higher cost, but faster rewards. And if you're a law firm of any size, you should probably be doing SEO. This will allow you to generate traffic on a recurring basis. It will also ensure that your website has some type of presence on Google search. But the degree in which you do SEO really depends on the competitiveness of your market and your overall budget. SEO does have a steeper learning curve than Google Ads. Doing your own SEO is certainly a possibility, but it's often best to work with a marketing agency that has real case studies and experience doing exactly what you're trying to do. This will ensure that the first few months isn't time wasted on busy work and will drive results as quickly as possible. But if you really want that 1-2 punch, combine SEO and Google Ads. It's a great way to drive sustainable traffic and generate leads quickly. Google Ads give you a competitive edge, and SEO ensures you aren't relying on ads to get your leads. Your ability to do Google Ads, SEO, or both depends on your resources, budget, and goals. If you can't really decide, I recommend consulting with a marketing agency to determine what your Google Ad and SEO budget might be and the potential ROI of those efforts. Either way, it's important to learn about SEO and Google Ads so that you can understand what the agency is doing so you can take an active role in your own strategy. If you'd like to learn more about SEO or Google Ads on your own, be sure to subscribe to this channel. My goal, as always, is to provide honest SEO and Google Ad tips to help you master your digital marketing and drive tangible, lucrative results while you're working with an agency or doing it yourself. Be sure to check out my other videos for SEO and Google Ad tips, and grab my book on Amazon called Law Firm SEO for a start-to-finish guide on how to implement SEO for your law firm. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. I'm Jason Hennessey, this is Honest SEO, and I'll see you in my next video.